right. Can everybody hear me okay? Awesome. Okay, we're going to do a little tag team on either side of the stage here. I just wanted to start by saying thank you to CFIN for putting this wonderful event on, for all of you guys for paying money to come here. That's pretty awesome. And then I also wanted to shout out to Linda Fox. Just thank you so much for all your support throughout this whole event. It's been wonderful. I don't know 17 people, how you manage 1,700. I don't have any idea. But so my name is Cameron Waite, this is Sharif Farani, and this is BUBS. BUBS is our cargo and last mile delivery robot. We're going to talk a little bit about robots today. Let me use this button here. So at Life Robotics, our goal is really to bring robots into the real world. And we're empowering Canadian organizations, and in this case, Canadian restaurants and food service companies, to really adopt and embrace automation and innovation to help their businesses grow. We thought we'd spend a little bit of time just quickly giving an overview of who we are, so you know who you're talking to today. I like to say that when I started in the robot industry 15 years ago, AI was just still a Will Smith movie. So it's been amazing to see the transition over the last 15 years and how fast this market has matured. The robot, by the way, BUBS, we do have a special delivery in there. There's some burgers in there from Burgers and Fries Forever, BFF, which is a local Ottawa-based organization. They've given us some burgers. So as he drives down up these paths, everybody who's in the aisle is going to get a burger. So go ahead and reach in if you're interested. They're really, really good burgers, by the way, like really gourmet burgers. So please have one. Otherwise, we spend a lot of money for nothing. So please have them. Whatever you put, go ahead. So I've been around in the industry for about 15 years, everything from flying robots to robots on the ground. If anybody's been to a Walmart in the last couple of years, you see a big giant robot driving around cleaning the floor. That was one of the things that I did just before I left, was put a robot into all the Walmarts across the country. I've seen a lot of this industry grow and change, and obviously spent a lot of time dealing with companies in all different wonderful industries and helping them through their automation journey. Sharif is also a 20-year veteran in the industry when it comes to restaurant and food cred. This guy absolutely takes the cake. 20 million food delivery service sales, worked for Uber, worked for Skip, all those wonderful organizations. And if anybody's ever seen the company called Tiny Mile, little pink robots that were driving around in Toronto, Ottawa for a couple of years, Sharif was head of growth for them. Now he's head of growth for us. So we're excited to have him on board. And then our team, we have about 54 years of experience in the robot industry specifically, which is pretty good considering the robot industry is only 15 years or so old. We've got a lot of folks on board who have really been able to help us to grow and to bring this technology fast into market. I like to call this our NASCAR slide. The idea here is throughout the team on a global level, these are the types of organizations that we've spent time with and walking them through the journey of hello to PO, but really embracing automation and helping them to bring in some sort of automation or robotic solution to help their business to grow. Our organization was founded in 2021. We're a group out of the University of Waterloo. We're part of a number of accelerators here in Canada, as well as a couple down in the US. We have 4 locations across Canada. Like I said, 54 years of experience on our team. And we're built in Canada by Canadians for Canadians, which is kind of unique. There's not a lot of, there's really no other operators in this particular space here in Canada, so we're kind of unique in that respect. But it's a pretty small and growing niche market, so we're really proud to say that we're coming from Canada. So we're going to talk a little bit about the food delivery problem today. Everybody knows there's no secret that labor is a challenge here in this country, right? Companies are struggling to find people to do some of the dull and dangerous and dirty roles. Delivery is a piece of that. There's all sorts of operations who can't find a human being to do some of those types of operation or jobs. And so we've decided to introduce some robotics to help fill that gap, because a lot of the jobs that we're seeing are not necessarily jobs of the future, but they are tasks of the future. And I don't know a lot of people that are sending their kids to school to be a food delivery person. They're becoming less and less jobs that are being able to fill, but the demand is still absolutely there as a business. So we've introduced BUBS. BUBS is a second generation robot, last mile and cargo delivery platform. So the platform means the concept of being able to customize the robot to fit a unique application. I've found that in my experience of selling robots over the years, nobody's ever said to me, it's perfect, don't change a thing, stop. Instead, they say, well, can you change it for me? I have a different unique application. It needs to be bigger, smaller, fatter, purple, shoot fireworks, whatever it is, it's different from me. And so we build that into the concept of the robot so that we can be customized and unique and pivot to help our customers fit whatever specific application they have. The robot is an indoor and an outdoor solution. It's multi-terrain. We use the Rogers network or 5G solutions in order to have real-time interactions with the robot. It's larger than most other robots in the space as well, so we can carry a lot more stuff, whether that be food or whether that be products in a hospital or whether that be on OPG delivering chemicals, whatever it is that you're struggling to find a person to do, robot can fill that gap. I'm a big believer in the concept of building an ecosystem. So over the last year, we spent a lot of time engaging with all sorts of organizations that can really help us to grow and expand across a multitude of markets. So that's everybody from industry partners to academic partners to development partners to sales partners and everybody in between. And it gives us a lot of flexibility and scope when we engage with a new client and they're trying to get into some new market or solve some problem. We probably have a guy for that, is the idea there. In all the years I've been selling robotics, there's some very specific norms or truths that I always seem to find. When you get a robot, we obviously solve for that labor challenge and labor disruption that everybody's dealing with. There's often an immediate impact on the business. Operational costs up to 50, sometimes even longer or bigger in certain industries of costs directly off the top line. Makes it really nice for business and easy to them to have them adopt this technology. Robots scale really well. So once we build a robot, we build a solution, we fit it in the right space. If you have multiple locations, it becomes really easy to do a copy and a paste. A copy and a paste. And it's like getting that perfect employee and just pasting them a whole bunch of times across all of your operations. And that also then gives you a lot of insight that you don't necessarily get with every employee. Robots can capture all sorts of data while we're driving around and just doing a particular job. I can capture other information. When you throw all that information into a wonderful Excel sheet, over the course of time, you start to get these trends in analytics and data that you can use to make better business decisions. And oftentimes, robots doing some pretty standard, straightforward jobs give an organization a level of insight into their business that they would have never had with a human being in that role. Most of the organizations that I've ever been engaged with robotics tend to get a brand bump when they bring in the robot. The marketing guys are like, oh my God, this is great. We can tell we have robots now, and the sales guys are going to differentiate them against everybody else. The CEO, the C-suite, they're looking at their 5-year innovation plan. We have robots, it fits all of our checks our boxes. We have an ESG plan to reduce our sustainable or carbon footprint. All that stuff comes with a robotic implementation as well. There's obviously some of the protection against human error, fatigue. It's a 24-hour system. There's no leaving early for your kids' work or for your kids' school. You're not sick today. There's no lunch breaks. There's no unions. The robot becomes really straightforward in terms of just getting the job done and freeing up those people to do much more valuable tasks. And that's really what this is all about. We're not about replacing people. We're not about replacing jobs. What we're finding is that companies have 10 jobs, but some of these jobs need to be filled, and they'd rather put those people into these jobs if they can't find the people to do that. So let's put the robot into these simple tasks and free up that human, which is a far more capable operator, into those more difficult jobs. Pretty straightforward. We've also patented a pretty interesting solution, which is an onboard mobile payment system. So invariably, it sort of turns the robot into a mobile vending machine. So we can load product into the robot. It can drive autonomously through a space. You can interact with the robot, tap and pay with your phone, take out whatever the stuff is that's in the inside, but your phone, and through our connection, is automatically debited to your actual bank machine. So it's PCI compliant as well. Pretty exciting. I think there's a huge amount of opportunity from our perspective in terms of all the markets that we can go after when we start to talk about a mobile vending solution. I'm gonna hand it over to Sharif and shut up now.
Perfect. Thanks, Cameron. Super glad to be here today, and I just kind of wanted to start it with an anecdotal story. So almost exactly last year, I was sitting exactly where you guys were, with just a notebook of ideas and a bunch of crazy emails. And you put the hard work in, and working with someone like Stephen can really make some cool things happen. So really thank you, Stephen, for helping facilitate that. But yeah, so this is today's problem. And what I mean by today is it's actually happening today. So currently in New York, there is one of the largest third-party courier strikes happening across DoorDash, Lyft, and Uber Eats related to working conditions. And so that's today's problem that needs to be solved. It's gonna start happening up here. We're starting to see some labor changes on the West Coast, asking for better working conditions, quality of life. And that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to upskill those jobs through digital retraining programs. So it's not about using AI to replace the workforce. It's using the AI to empower the workforce. Let's see. What am I doing here wrong? Oh. So project overview. So we've got a 6-phased approach to rolling this out with the ultimate goal of developing a playbook for last mile food delivery in Canada. And I say playbook because I really want to emphasize that. Most delivery companies really focus on just a hardware solution. We're a little bit beyond that. We're looking about how businesses are going to interact with it, how consumers are going to interact with it, what are the branding opportunities, all the way from what we're branding clicks to rips. So from when you place that order online, all the way to when you rip that package open at your house, what does that full life cycle of delivery look like for the consumer? And we're focused on developing that playbook there. So we've got a six-phased approach to that, to empower the restaurant owners, better the lives of couriers, and ensure that Canadian families can afford Canadian products and Canadian brands. So right now, if you were to order local delivery groceries from a great brand, Canadian brand, Giant Tiger, it's more expensive to deliver than if you were to order from Walmart. It shouldn't be that way. Local delivery is broken in Canada right now. And so we need to fix that and make it so that Canadians, businesses have a competitive edge when it comes to delivery. We've got first-in-class products. We need first-in-class delivery here as well. So our North Star metrics. So this is really what differentiates us. Cameron alluded to my experience at Tiny Mile. So a lot of delivery companies classify their success based on miles traveled or hours worked. We don't really care about that. If it's miles traveled, but they're failed miles, it's a failed delivery, that's not successful to us. So we qualify our North Star metric as the number of successful deliveries. And we qualify a successful delivery as a delivery that either represents environmental or economic savings and has some stickiness when it comes to the customer. So it's a service that the customer would use again or recommend to a friend. And we're very zoned in on that. And we think that's one of the keys to our success so far. Hypothesis. So we hypothesize that there'll be significant savings within a 5-kilometer radius of businesses. And so what that means is we're saying businesses shouldn't have to pay to deliver to their local customers. They shouldn't have to use Uber Eats to deliver to the guy down the street. That's their local business. He sees them every day. He's part of that community. Why is he paying for that? So we only believe that there should be a cost associated with customer acquisition through a third-party marketplace or outside of a delivery radius. You're delivering somewhere further. So our outcomes. So again, we're really focused on developing this playbook. And so that's working on the R&D side, the software side, and the customer-facing side. We want to strengthen some Canadian IP as well. So we've got a number of software and hardware patents. Mobile payments, for example, is one that's bringing commerce everywhere. So you're going to have commerce in zoos, arenas, and you're able to match that product suite then with the audience there. So picture this, you're at a hockey game. On the Jumbotron, there's a product that you can then scan, and the robot will come deliver a product to you. So you can match the product to the venue and to the audience. So it's bringing commerce not just from digital, but to the physical world. Restaurant level SOPs. So something we recognized when we were at Tiny Mile was loading the robot is really important. And if you're loading coffee, it's different than how you're loading soup. And that's important, and you need to classify that. So we're really focused on developing that for product suites. So how do they do that for pizza? How do they do that for fast casual? How do they do that for the clothing world? So developing those SOPs is key to rolling it out and empowering that vendor for that ultimate experience. Canadian jobs, right? So there's lots of opportunities for digital upscaling here, as well as creating remote work opportunities for rural communities. So rural communities that maybe need some tech training, there's some youth opportunities and employment there. And it's a market-ready, scalable solution. So this isn't French tech. This is, as you can see, it's market-ready. You just experienced it, and it's ready to go. So that's what we're doing here. We're looking to put this into play. How does it work? So robot's home base is secured at a restaurant. It's charging there through contact pad. Restaurant employee places the e-commerce item or the order in the bot, and then it's deployed to the customer. And using AI-supported logistics, it matches up with that delivery time and scheduling. So you get your order securely delivered to the customer's location, and then the robot returns home for charging or to a centralized maintenance bay. And just wanted to say thank you guys for joining us today, and thanks for letting us talk to you about our project.
I thought we were going to get played off there by like the orchestra at the Oscars. I thought we were getting played off. That was good. There you go. Burgers it is. All right. Thanks, everybody.
And we love chatting. So if you have any questions, feel free to come up to us later on.